Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BNC podcast. I am not Al Frenzy, but I will be taking over as host.
Boo!
Yep, it's me, Elephant Justice, the bitch who hates Suicide Squad. That's just how it be, I guess. And
Boo!
we're here with returning podcaster, bitch ass Bowie,
Hate
and the
Fellas?
man, our Lord and Savior, who, like Jesus, has finally returned, God.
What's poppin'? I'm here. Don't worry, I didn't die.
Could have fooled us. And our current guest, Xander, from, I think, Annie Twitter?
Hey, who wants to play?
I'm scared.
I was like, I'm really scared.
Yeah, what's the safe word, guys?
Fat Albert. Bill Cosby.
Albert?
I don't know.
Bill Cosby?
What? I want the safe word to be Bill Cosby. That's fucking...
That's a terrible safe word.
Well, it's like, well, okay, what's the safe word? Casey Anthony. Like, I want Casey Anthony to be my fucking safe word. At least she'll be able to protect something in her life.
Wow.
Get it? Because she killed her kid. Oh man.
Yeah, there's nothing I can really say to that.
Listen.
There's no listens.
Oh man.
Listen,
My mom,
Perhaps.
my mom actually doesn't believe that Casey Anthony did it.
why?
Xander, do you believe Casey Anthony did it?
Do I?
Yes, no?
Yeah, no.
Maybe so.
I believe she did. I think.
Yeah,
the
no,
evidence-
she totally did it.
I think the evidence is there. Just like with OJ, pretty sure. I don't know why my mom's like, nah, I don't think she
Wait,
did.
that's a good question. Xander, do you think OJ did it?
No comment.
He thinks OJ didn't do it. Okay, got it.
Wait,
I
what?
mean, OJ got parole recently. It's pretty nifty.
You got what?
He got parole. He got parole, like he got freed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't hear about it? It was
Yeah.
So the government finally understood that OJ didn't do it.
No. Remember that book? If he did it, they realized that it was just a what if scenario. Fucking.
Interesting.
It's pretty obvious that OJ did it. Like, that's most people, like, who don't make it a race issue go like, of course OJ did it.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, his lawyer
No.
was genius. Oh, sorry. What do you think, Mo?
No. Go ahead.
I mean, I was gonna say his lawyer was just genius. He realized that if like he could turn it into a race thing, that you could get like the people on your side. So of course all the people believed in OJ until like he tried to steal all that fucking memorabilia, and they're like, yo, maybe OJ did do it.
Maybe.
OJ.
Perhaps.
There's been like fucking 3 shows. Like 3 shows and movies based on if OJ did it. Like, there was that one show that came out. It had fucking Ross from the Friends in it. It was... I forgot what I forgot what it was called, but like... Apparently it's really good. It won an Emmy, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, all I see OJ is a fucking convict. But he did some bad stuff. But you know what? Don't we all do bad stuff? Don't we all just kill our wives sometimes?
I really think about if OJ
I
did
know.
it, and it raises me a question, right?
Yeah.
So Xander, I might be stealing someone else's questions if I do this, but so Xander, what's your dick size?
Hey!
Thank you.
That's my topic.
You know what? You know what? Let's talk about dick sizes. Xander, what's your dick size? You're gonna be kicked off the podcast if you don't share your dick size.
I see.
I was not prepared for this.
Fucking...
No, it's nothing to be shy of. It's just just our penises. We're men. We have penises.
Yeah. We're all men here.
We're all men
Yeah,
with
but-
penises. That's definitely how it works.
We're all men here.
I know.
Yeah.
I know a friend who literally goes like, "I like to know people's penis sizes because that's a moment of privacy for them, and I like knowing that privacy.
Alright, that's fucked up. See, like, how I see it, it's like telling people your GPA, you know? So, yeah, I have a
What?
4.0.
No, that is completely
and they also
different.
have a 6.8 dick size. Like, that's how it is.
No, because
Okay,
can
no.
you just imagine? Hey, what's your GPA? 4.0. Oh, sorry, that's my dick size.
I mean, no, like, just like the tone of, like, when talk about your dick size. It's like talk about, you know, your GPA. It's like, that's what you're sharing.
I hate
So,
how that
Xander, what's your
kinda
dick
makes
size?
sense.
I don't know.
You never measured it?
No.
Really? So you never had the
I
urge?
only recently measured it.
Wait,
Really?
Myself,
Did you
so-
measure by inches?
No, like, okay, I know that it's an inch longer than yours because
Wow.
I did the PS3
Dang.
controller.
Okay.
PS3 controller
What
thing
happened
that
to
you were talking about.
Yeah, you fucking what? Okay, so I judged how big my penis is by I put it up against a PS3 controller. So that's 6.3 inches. It's not bad for a white guy. And then this dumbass buoy is like, yo. First off, I told God once, and literally this was his response. He picked up a fucking PS3 controller and went, "That's a dinky ass controller."
Bro, I'm just telling you, the PS3 is the smallest of the 4 controllers.
And yeah, I measured, I put it up there, and it was an inch longer than it. So,
You want a medal?
hey, you asked.
You want a big penis medal? Fucking.
You asked.
Fucking fine. Well, Mo,
You asked for this.
how big is your penis, God?
Well, I already told you, 6.8.
Damn. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You've made
I
the
didn't work to get a penis size.
You've made the family proud.
Okay, so Xander, if you don't like talking about penis sizes,
No.
you got any spooky ghost stories?
Not in particular.
You
I live
believe
in
in
the middle
ghosts?
of
Oh,
nowhere, so it's like
you guys don't got any like creepy stories from where you live?
Okay, well, God, you
Not
have a
really.
ghost story that you never told. Where like instead
I've been waiting for this ghost story.
You told a fake ghost story instead of a real ghost story.
I told a ghost story.
No, it was when we were like, aha, and you went, yo, I once had a spooky toenail, and then we're like, wait, don't you actually? And we're like, don't you actually have a ghost story? And you're like, oh shit, I do, and then you didn't tell
Oh
it.
yeah, I do
You
have a
left
ghost
me hanging.
story.
I told my ghost stories, and then I was waiting to hear yours, and then it never happened.
Too bad
I
ghosts
mean,
aren't real.
I do have a ghost story, but Xander doesn't want to. Xander, do you like ghost stories?
yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
response.
Very
mean-
enthusiastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you like, Xander? What are you into?
I was like, we
Well-
probably should have started on that by letting the guest introduce himself. All
Let
right.
him talk.
Well, I'm mainly on Twitter. I talk about Gundam and
He does premium shitpost.
yeah, pretty much.
I've heard people call you the Gundam guy. Like nice. So
Yeah, dang.
what got you into Gundam?
Well, a friend was getting into it at the time, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I've been meaning to get into this for a while, so I guess I'll do it now." And then I started it, and the next thing I knew, I was like 5 series in. So
Damn.
What's so good about a Gundam? What's the appeal? 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've never seen.
My-
I've never looked at it, so I don't know. It's just giant robots. I thought.
the thing
Nah.
about Gundam is that one, it was like the first of its kind. It's mainly a war between two sides where neither side is in particularly wrong. And they both have good people on them, but both sides make bad decisions. And it's just a war between those two sides, and it just happens to have giant robots in it. So
That
Giant robots are just a plus.
Yeah, it's basically just a plus.
That
So
actually
people don't
sounds
watch
kind
it
of
for the giant
interesting.
robots?
Well, some people do. There's shows made specifically for the people that watch giant robots, but there's also a timeline made specifically for people who are into like, the space politics and the lore.
I've only seen what series have I seen? I saw one of the older ones and it was really good, but I can't remember the name of it for the life of me.
Was
Um,
it like G Gundam? That's the one most people have seen.
No, it was like one from the 90s. So it wasn't like one of the oldest ones, but I remember that one, and I've seen Iron-Blooded Orphans and Thunderbolt and Unicorn. That's all
Thunderbolt's
my.
really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Thunderbolt.
So I'm curious. Is it all the same writer or no?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Well, not
Because
it's
I know
not
it's
the same
old.
writer
Because I know like it's really old.
because
so.
it started in like 1979, so it's probably got it. Like they get different people. Like G Gundam is like an entirely different series altogether. Like Gundam is normally like space politics and stuff like that. G Gundam is like Dragon Ball Z but with giant robots.
Wait, that sounds
That
awesome.
sounds pretty late.
It
to
is
be honest.
awesome. It's friggin' amazing.
Okay, so is there like a studio that owns Gundam then?
Yeah, it's Sunrise.
Okay.
Those are the people that own.
And they essentially publish writers to write series then.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Those are the Cowboy Bebop people.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
really?
make pretty
Also-
much any mecha anime.
They have Cowboy Bebop, and they also have fucking Love Live.
Oh yeah,
Well-
I was really surprised when I found that
I know,
out.
right?
Giant robots and idols.
Wait, so do they also own Gurren Lagann? Out of curiosity.
No, I think that's Trigger.
Okay. Is that's not Gundam then?
No,
No.
it's inspired by Gundam though.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Well, most
Yeah.
most mecha anime are inspired by Gundam.
So is
then I
Gundam
guess-
something that's like? Because since like you said, one of the appeals is that it was the first to do what it did. Has it kind of aged?
Yeah, well, the thing is, back like way before Gundam even came out, there were mecha shows, but they were like stuff like Astro Boy and stuff like that, where there wasn't really any dark
Competition?
tone to it,
Okay.
and they called that genre like Super Robot.
Okay.
And then Gundam came out, and they had to create a new genre called Real Robot, which is like, it's more dramatic. It's got like a war setting. It was one of the first shows to have like, it to display like just the real tone of like what war is like and stuff like that. And that's why it made such a large impact.
So Gundam
I have a-
could. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. So Gundam added like dark storytelling to an already like pretty satirized medium, and then made it like
Yeah.
that much impact. Nice. Sorry, Boo. You can go ahead.
I have a question. I've always been more of an Evangelion guy, but
Yeah.
like Evangelion was like making fun of like stuff like Gundam, wasn't it? That's
Yeah,
what
I
I've
guess
heard.
you could probably say that, but I think it's also they look up to Gundam in a way because Gundam
Yeah.
was like what made them what they are, and I don't think
Yeah.
Evangelion would have even existed if Gundam hadn't have done what it did.
Yeah, but like on Twitter, I've had a few people. They're like, "No, like Ava's the anti-Gundam or something."
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
well, it's funny because Evangelion actually has a lot of similarities to Gundam in some ways. Like Gundam was like one of the first shows. Like Shinji wasn't like the first character to be like, "Oh, I don't want to get in the friggin' giant robot." Like the original
Yeah.
protagonist for Gundam was like the first one to actually do that.
Yeah. My friend is watching the Gundam series right now, like all the originals from the beginning, and he was telling me how that dude is a lot similar but like really similar to Shinji in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, Shinji's thing is like he's young, right? So like it's supposed to be like, you know, an impact on a child with war.
Yeah, yeah, he's like a little kid, and what he is he's considered what in the Gundam universe is called a new type, which is a person who has grown up in space all their lives since they colonize space and they live in these little colonies, and he's grown up there all his life, and since he's a new type, he's basically automatically like really good with like piloting giant robots, pretty much.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And what like happens is like just some stuff goes down, and essentially civilians are forced to take refuge in this ship and evacuate, but all like the crew has been like killed, so it's basically a civil group of civilians and children and giant robot just trying to get out while they still can.
So yeah, like so what is the setting of Gundam? Is it in space? Like is that
Yeah, sometimes it's in space, sometimes it's on the ground, sometimes it's in both. It depends on what series you're watching.
Yeah.
what series would you recommend?
Well,
Like cuz I'm actually interested.
it depends on what you're looking for.
I'm looking for a
There
dark,
are series-
realistic storytelling, like where both sides are opposites, but not one is necessarily in the wrong.
Well, yeah, it's you basically kind of have to start from the beginning to understand.
Right.
But yeah, I started with the trilogy films, which are basically the original Gundam series, but they take out all the filler. They basically narrowed down like a 17-hour series to like a 7-hour series.
Nice. That's okay. That sounds interesting. So start with the
Okay.
trilogy and then just keep going.
Yeah, you go in chronological order.
Yeah. It looks like we're all out of time, everybody. Oh my god. All right, everybody. That's all there will be for this episode of BNC. We'll see you all next week when we'll find out our masturbation habits, I guess. So so my boy Donnie Daycare, right? Ha ha. All right.